And joining us tonight via phone patch is BSP Deputy Governor Diwa Guinigundo to give us a clear idea on the Moody's credit rating upgrade on the Philippines. Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening, and good evening to all our listeners and viewers.
Very good news. So when do you think now that the country would finally receive the investment grade credit rating?
Well, it's very difficult to say, but given the rate at which these three major credit rating agencies are assessing the good prospects in the Philippine macroeconomy, we should be expecting that to be very soon. And when I say very soon, I'm not saying this year, probably early next year. The reason for this is that the three credit rating agencies are asking or seeking for additional support. Why they should say that the kind of economic growth that they're seeing is something that may be described to be sustainable. In other words, they're looking for more signs that our country's economic growth is sustainable and durable over the long run. And I think this is the reason why the Philippine government is putting up all of this infrastructure and even social finance to provide additional support to ensure that economic growth in the Philippines will remain sustainable, resilient, and durable over the long run. The fiscal issue is also something that the government is also challenged to show further stronger results in terms of higher revenue to GDP ratio. In other words, we need to show to the credit rating agencies that the government has enough revenue to sustain and to support additional projects.
So moving forward now that since we have gotten an upgrade, would the immediate passage of excise taxes on alcohol and tobacco products contribute to another rating upgrade, or are they still waiting for a deeper structural reform?
Well, I'm sure those initial measures that have been so far considered are something that can contribute to a more positive outlook by the credit rating agencies. But moving forward, I think the credit rating agencies are also looking for additional structural reforms. At the same time, I think the challenge for us is really to continue doing all of the things that we have been doing in order to further strengthen the economy, strengthen the financial system, strengthening our tax structure, and things that will provide continuity to these structural reforms. These are the things that we need to sustain over the long run to be able to make sure that the credit rating to an investment grade will really come to pass.
So with regards to the Bangsamoro Framework Agreement, this is seen to boost the investment climate in Mindanao. Will Bangko Sentral issue new banking policies in order to help investors in Mindanao? And would this also help to upgrade our outlook? Certainly,
the Bangsamoro initiative for peace is something that the credit rating agencies truly appreciated, and I think they really cited that as one of those things that really convinced them to give us an upgrade. In terms of banking policy, I think we have sufficient policy framework that would provide additional attraction to foreign investors to really invest in Mindanao. I don't think we need additional incentives, we need additional banking measures to encourage people to invest in Mindanao. Mindanao continues to be an island of promise. It is something that is rich in natural resources. It is where you don't see, as much typhoon as we have in Luzon and even in the Visayas. In other words, even if you don't provide them with additional stimulus or incentives, I think people will come and invest in Mindanao.
So the ASEAN Economic Community, or AEC, in 2015 has already been discussed in all sectors and industries. Businesses are cautiously optimistic. From the standpoint of BSP, do you think Philippines can stand all the challenges in the integration with ASEAN communities and compete with the other regional blocs?
In the areas of, for example, capital account liberalization, I think we're quite advanced. With respect to capital market development, I think we have more challenges to hurdle. And with respect to the provision of financial services, I think most of our banks are strong enough to compete and to be able to contribute to regional integration. But there are still areas that will have to be discussed with our counterparts in the ASEAN to make sure that by 2015, a greater degree of regional integration shall have been achieved. But I have to clarify that I think 2015 might be quite ambitious in terms of the roadmap or the blueprint. I think it will have to be sustained probably even beyond 2015.
So in line with this, in what areas do we excel, and in which areas do you think would be severely affected by this economic integration, like banking, transportation, food? Could you kindly elaborate on this?
Well, I think there is always a benefit in regional integration because the markets are actually expanded in the process. For example, if you have 95 million people in the Philippines, the additional markets that may be provided by the big countries like Indonesia, for example, that can provide additional market to our domestic and exporters. Even in terms of services like banking and business process outsourcing, definitely in terms of more opportunities when we integrate in the ASEAN region, that can provide additional incentives, business opportunities for the manufacturers and other service providers in the Philippines.
And sir, what do you think, in line with this, what must be done by both the private and the public sector, and most interestingly by our economic managers, in order for us to elevate us into the next grading?
At this point, I think what the Philippine government is doing is the right thing. We are trying to strengthen ourselves. We are putting up the kind of infrastructure that we sorely need. We are behind, actually, our counterparts in the ASEAN region in terms of infrastructure, in terms of safety nets, for example. So if we are able to strengthen ourselves and fortify our economy, then we would be able to contribute to regional integration. And at the same time provide our domestic investors, producers and service providers more opportunities, more market opportunities to expand their business horizons beyond the Philippines. So I think at this point, what we need to do is really to sustain what we have been doing, providing the basis for greater market competition so that we can be prepared for any eventuality when it comes to regional integration.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much for joining us tonight. That was Deputy Governor Guinigundo. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.